Okay, this is regarding a planned attack on a Paris church recently. Let's listen to this.
France revealed on Wednesday that police had thwarted a terror attack in Paris by a 24-year-old IB student.
Let's go back to the beginning here. Sorry.
The student who planned to attack Paris churches. France revealed on Wednesday that police had thwarted a terror attack in Paris by a 24-year-old IB student after he accidentally shot himself. Here's what we know about the terror suspect. A 24-year-old computer scientist student named in French press as Atomic Lamb was arrested on Sunday in the 13th arrondissement of Paris, not far from his student residence. He was held after apparently having shot himself in the leg by accident, just as he was preparing to carry out the attacks. He had called an ambulance, but police became suspicious after hearing his story and traced the blood back to his car. According to French prosecutor, the man refused to allow police to search the vehicle. But when they eventually did, they found a loaded Kalashnikov, 3 spare magazines, the pistol, the GPS, a bulletproof vest, and 3 mobile phones. Further searches of his student lodgings in the 13th arrondissement unearthed several more automatic weapons, described as a real arsenal of military weapons, according to French Interior Minister Bernard Cazeneuve. Cazeneuve said evidence on his Facebook account suggested he was planning to target 1 or 2 churches in the village suburb to the south of Paris on that Sunday.
See, I don't know what's going through people's heads nowadays with Facebook and Twitter and all these social media sites that I use and everybody uses. But you got to be really careful of what you're sharing on there because it's a CIA data mining tool. I don't know why people don't get this. And if he wanted to be secretive about it, then why would he say what his plans are on Facebook when that's basically telling the whole world what you're going to do? Like what? And if he did do that, why would he use his real name on Facebook? That's the other question I have. Like this, people just aren't using their heads nowadays. They don't realize that everybody's being watched. When you step out of your house nowadays, you're being watched 24/7.
French prosecutor François Molins said on Wednesday that all Qaeda and ISIS documents were also found in his flat and that he was in contact with an individual in Syria who is believed to have instructed him to attack churches. The suspect was born in Algeria but came to France in 2009 to join up with other members of his family who were already in the country. The suspect was a student from 2010 to 2012 at the Ivy College FUPINFO in Paris, where an unnamed source told the French daily Le Figaro that he came across as a normal student. He never did anything to draw attention to himself. He was a normal student.
That's funny because I've read other stories too of like a terrorist attack and then they interview people that knew the person and oh he could never have done anything like that. Like over and over and over and over again, you see this time and time again. It's because it's Islam. I've noticed in this article too, they haven't really mentioned that it's Islam again. Like, because if you look at his name, obviously it's Islam, right? And it's in Paris, and there's issues with Islam in Paris taking over. See, this is what happens when multiculturalism takes over, right?
With good grade. We were very surprised to see his name in the press today, the source said. He was described as a radical Islamic by French authorities, but it is unclear when and where he became radicalized. Cazeneuve said that intelligence services were aware of the individual and had placed him under surveillance for several months in 2014 and 2015.
They could say radicalize all they want. It's the teaching of the Quran that tells them how to do this and what to do. This is just a modern day version of it compared to the old days when it used to be by the sword. If you look at history, this is what Islam has always done. People just need to read history and look it up themselves.
However, according to reports, the suspect did nothing to raise their suspicions or to prompt counter-terror police to open a case against him. Whilst he is reported to have spent a week in Turkey, he is not believed to have followed the route of many jihadists by crossing into Syria. No links were established between him and established networks that helped jihadists reach Syria. However, the DGSI did create a special file on the subject titled S, meaning state security, so if any authority checked his identity, they would know he had been surveyed and the level of danger he was ranked at. He came to their attention after expressing his desire to fight alongside jihadists in Syria. Some members of his family and his partner have also been taken into custody for questioning, including his sister, who was reportedly recently radicalized. He was also known to the police after being implicated in a violent attack 2 years ago. He is currently in police custody being grilled by counter-terrorist police. Prosecutor Molins said that after initially making Islamist remarks, the student has exercised his right to silence and has remained tight-lipped. To the teen who planned to kill my son, we found out Friday that you were planning on
okay, we'll stop that. Sorry, that's a different story. So I'd just like to end this by saying a fundamental Christian will annoy you by the gospel and convicting preaching. A fundamental Islam will chop your head off. Okay, end of article.